And we're stuck in a cutscene.
What do we do?
So I can't
Configuration is so
fix
confusing.
anything till we get out of this cutscene. Dang it! As soon as I start streaming, Loki gets up and is like, I need to cause some chaos. You're being kicked out for now. You better behave.
Good plan. Impossible things don't just happen. We'll get to the truth one way or another.
Now he's scratching again. He's a brat. Help me. I'll have to leave it open a teeny bit. Also, now I hear myself. I don't like how it's a bit laggy.
Just relax. Even if everyone else suspects Lenny and Lynette, at least we will be supporting them from the stands. Besides, I doubt Farina understands any more about what happened than we do.
Thanks, Navia. Well, we'll be going then.
Best of luck to you.
I like Navia. I like her outfit a lot. Once it lets me. Well, not yet.
Ah, finally, you're back. Well, how did your investigation go?
To be honest, you might be disappointed.
Oh! Something I was thinking about last night. Did they get their
We're already
visions back
very
yet?
Grateful that you were willing to help.
And who was holding their visions during this whole thing?
Well now, don't you all look disappointed? Don't tell me that your investigation came up empty-handed. That was to be expected, of course. The guilty can never produce proof of their innocence. But don't let that stop you. I shall be terribly disappointed should you, my most anticipated foe, concede so easily.
Since both parties are present, I declare that the trial regarding the magic show incident is now in session.
Wow, we're getting right into it. I was hoping I'd be
Firstly,
able to go
in
into
order
settings.
for the audience to understand the causes and results of the incident, could we please have Mr. Linney explain the trick?
Yes, of course. I will explain while Lynette demonstrates on stage. All the necessary items have been prepared.
Lenny clearly reveals the details of the magic trick. Everyone
Thank
in
you,
the
Mr.
audience
Linney.
is stunned.
In that case, I take your statement to be that you ran to and remained hidden within the magic box in the audience stands once the trick began, and thus could not have committed the crime. Is this correct?
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
In that case, I call upon the prosecution. Lady Farina, do you wish to refute his statement in any way?
Why, of course I do. Allow me to take the first shot and break this case wide open. Mr. Linney is clearly lying.
Why?
There is no way you could have been in the box the whole time if you were to abduct Halsey and murder Cowell. In fact, I'd say you were hardly in that tunnel at all.
That is simply your hypothesis based on the presumption that I'm guilty.
Oh, is that so? And if I may ask, what did you hear while you were inside your box?
The roaring countdown of the crowd, of course. That's how I kept track of the time and built anticipation for the finale.
And you didn't hear anything else at all? Nothing that might leave an impression of any kind?
No, nothing.
I really want to see if they have their visions. That was bugging me last night. I was half asleep and I'm like, wait a second, did they ever get their visions back?
I see. But when the count reached 30 seconds or so, there was a thud.
Wasn't
One
there?
so loud that I believe
Oh,
practically
yeah.
everyone heard it.
Huh?
Hey, hang on. Something's not right here.
Loki now. How could Lenny not know about that sound?
Yeah, I'm sure he could have heard a noise that loud from inside the box.
I was right by the box and I definitely heard the thud.
Look at those scales. Could those mean...
They probably represent the Oratress's stance on the trial. Oratrice, I think, actually is what they called it.
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to use the words of the magician himself. You never know what can happen in the blink of an eye. Indeed, it seems his alibi can also collapse in the blink of an eye. Of course, I have armed myself to do far more than smash your alibi. Confidence cannot go unfounded, and my foundations are rock solid. Tell me, aren't you and Lynette actually from the House of the Hearth?
Where's that?
The House of the Hearth?
They are Fatui! Well...
No wonder they did something like this.
Not sure if it was all their
So the
fault,
serial
though.
disappearances were the Fatui's doing. Now it all makes sense.
I've got a feeling that what happened on stage probably wasn't just an accident.
That's irrelevant. Our identities have nothing to do with what happened.
Indeed. Then perhaps you could tell us everything that happened during that 1 minute. Your first priority is to prove yourself innocent after all. I'm sure there is little that needs to be kept secret now. Unless your script already has holes in it. The Outlander is speechless. My, oh my, don't they look flabbergasted? Now comes the infighting and discord, I suppose. This was almost too easy. Good thing I made all those preparations. Seems the all-nighter I pulled last night is really paying off.
Hey, Linny, why didn't you tell us this before?
So do they have delusions too, or do only the Harbingers have delusions? Lenny and Lynette are Fatui.
Order! Order! Mr. Linney, allow me to re-establish the facts. Lady Farina has raised 2 points. First, when the thud was heard in the Opera House, you were neither in the box nor the tunnel. Second, you and Ms. Lynette are both members of the House of the Hearth.
Is Frone also?
Are these claims true?
There's no doubt about a magician's ability to con others. Given how Lenny has concealed his identity, this could all have been set up beforehand. Plus, Child is here in Fontaine along with other house operatives. There must be some scheme at work here. I've been a victim of such schemes before, and now...
Please answer my question, Mr. Linney.
I'm sorry. Yes, they're true, Your Honor.
Oh.
I knew it!
Well, that's it. We might as well move on to the sentencing already.
What should we do now?
Permission to speak, Your Honor.
Granted.
My client has withheld some key information. My defense cannot proceed.
In that case, what is your request?
I request a brief adjournment. There are things that must be
Is
discussed.
that really necessary? They're already as good as guilty.
The defendant deceived their own attorneys. What is there left to discuss?
Order! Order, I say! Your request is reasonable, and we shall adjourn. This trial will reconvene in 1 hour.
So you would stick to Mr. Linney's defense even after knowing what you do now? You certainly have more professionalism than I thought. In that case, my dear audience, let's allow the joy of victory to steep for a little while longer.
Excuse me? I do not know why I did that. Court is adjourned. You meet with Linny and Lynette backstage in Opera House. Please let me change some settings. Not yet.
Well, this is awkward. I didn't think the Hydro Archon would dig all that up. I'm sorry, Traveler and Paimon.
Yeah, sorry. Paimon doesn't know where to start. We trusted you two. We based our entire reasoning on the assumption that you weren't bad guys. Not to set the wrong tone or anything, but Paimon's really mad!
Hmm?
I'm very sorry. I know you're angry, and reasonably so, but please, let me explain. I know you've clashed with the Vatui several times before. I wouldn't be surprised if just hearing the word is enough to make you upset. But our organization is very, very large, and the Harbingers have very different personalities and goals.
Right now, we want to save people. As many as we can.
Oh! So they mentioned Father earlier, and Arla Chino? I don't know how you say her name. She sometimes goes by Prince. So I wonder if she's the one they consider father.
That's right. I'm sure we're on the same page when it comes to this nation and the disaster that its people might face.
And I'm guessing they're here for the Gnosis. Lemon
I
Child.
knew if it weren't for our respective identities, we could become good friends. That's why I didn't wish to flat out lie to you, but chose to hide some details instead. The truth is very important, but being completely transparent about everything would see us spending more effort than we need to.
But how can we know this is all just another
Right.
lie?
So, you be the judge. Heck, if I were you, I fear that I'd even struggle to trust me at this point. You met a Fatus who works as a magician, a trickster by trade. All by coincidence, too. But still, I'm asking you to trust me. I am no criminal. At least, not in this case.
Sorry. Please forgive us.
Well,
Okay, they do
you
have their
say
visions
that,
back.
but-
Explain the other issue first.
Right. Let's hear your answer first, and no lies now!
Of course. I'll answer any question you ask. We've been trying to find out how the Oratrice operates. We want to know why it has a consciousness. Why can it deliver sentences accurately? During our investigations, we learned that the machine's core is beneath it. From that moment on, Lynette and I have been designing this box swap trick, with the objective of getting close to the core.
Is that why you needed a whole minute?
Net.
That's right. In truth, the audience would take about 75 seconds to count down from 60, while I would only need 15 to get to the opposite box. So, after jumping into the tunnel, I accessed the Opera House basement via the vent, and went to investigate the room in which the core is
The
stored.
vent.
That air vent was created during the construction of the tunnel specifically to execute this step.
And what did you find?
Well, nothing. As soon as I reached that room and
Ciao?
was about to investigate, I heard someone's voice. Which should have been impossible, of course. I was quite certain that I was the only one in the room. That voice seemed to recognize me and tried to speak to me. I chose to err on the side of caution and retreated the way I came.
Oh, well, remember
On the way
Aether
back,
also.
I saw the broken
heard
vase
a
and the
voice.
clothes on the ground, but the countdown was almost finished, so there wasn't time to give it any thought. After that, the homicide occurred just as you saw.
Well, that explains why you didn't hear the thud.
But why do you want to understand how the Oratrice operates?
Because of that prophecy I told you about, of course. We must know all we can about this nation's secrets in order to deal with that prophesized crisis.
That's the only way we can save everyone.
So, there you have it. The whole truth. I swear, I didn't hide anything from you this time.
Sure.
It was never my wish to proceed under this cloud of mistrust either. But like I said earlier, you can be the judge. If you want to leave because you don't trust the Fatui, there's nothing I can do to stop you.
Well, Traveler, you decide. Paimon will follow your lead however you choose.
I believe in the facts. I believe that judgment will be dispensed as it should.
Thank you.
Thanks for giving us a chance.
The current problem is that the scales are tipped pretty badly against you two. If we want to refute the Hydro Archon's accusations, we're gonna need a seriously watertight defense.
Watertight. We already have the key evidence we need. The adjournment's almost over. Let's go back.
Oh, Paimon thinks she gets what you mean.
Maybe. So, is there someone underneath her controlling? Oh! Okay. Let me see if I can figure out how I switched it that one time. I think I did full screen. And then please let me capture Genshin? No? Oh, this is gonna drive me nuts. Give me a second. I'm gonna have to Google this again. Let me see. Dang it! I know why. I need to restart stream. Give me 1 second. Okay, so now I can go back to full screen. Let me do this so I can see any frame drops. Excuse me, why is everything black? Excuse me? This is weird. I have never had this happen before. OBS.
There's no such thing as pure freedom in this world. Even the wind cannot blow on forever.
Let's change this to... I'm gonna restart my game. Give me a second. Let's restart. Okay. Launch. What a pain in the butt. Okay. Let's try this again. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Okay. Let's see. Oh boy. Okay. Okay, let me try this fix. Oh, what happened to... Why did it turn off again? Holy crap. I'm having lots of issues. Okay. Is it gonna make me do this like every time I play? Okay. So I need to set it to window, then I add the capture, and then I set it back to full screen, and it's good. Hopefully. Okay. So... set to window. It is in window. Add game capture. Okay. Genshin. Whew, okay. Then I can change it back to full screen. Ha! We're safe. Now let's see. Does this lag at all now? I guess we'll have to...
There's no need to exchange pleasantries. It's rather pathetic to force a conversation just to occupy silence.
Let me get chat back up. And we'll continue. The brief adjournment ends, and the nail-biting trial reconvenes.
Both parties have returned to their positions. Let us continue the trial. When last we left off, Mr. Linney acknowledged the new evidence presented by Lady Farina as fact. Therefore, Lady Farina may continue stating her reconstruction of the events.
That took long enough. Now then, if everyone would lend me their attention. At this stage, let's revisit that scene from Linney's perspective.
Based on the opposition's account of events, you can identify loopholes in their statement. Use evidence and clues obtained during the investigation to refute any erroneous assertions. My goodness, I can't read. A fact and replace them with new inferences. Use your refutations to convince the audience and obtain more support from the people. The word trace will display such shifts clearly. When you find and refute all incorrect content, you can complete this cycle of refutation and reveal the truth. Oh geez!
As the countdown began, he entered the tunnel. When the flatbed trolley passed, he opened the box and got into an altercation with Halsey, which caused the loud thud. He did not realize that this sound could be heard by everyone in the opera house, which is why he claimed earlier that he could not hear the sound. Finally, he used the vase to knock her out, before making her change clothes to prevent others from recognizing her. At this time, Cowell arrived in the tunnel, having heard that strange noise, and caught Linney red-handed. So Linney proceeded to knock him out too before stuffing him into that box. Afterward, Linney passed the unconscious Halsey to his accomplice through the magic box in the audience stands, before operating the devices such that Cowell's death would be ruled an accident.
No?
And there you have it. That's the truth behind what happened.
No, because she wasn't even in
Does the defendant's side have any objections to Lady Farina's description of the events?
The key to refuting Lady Farina is the order of events, what Linney experienced, and what he saw.
Oh boy. Okay.
According to Linney, he left via the vent after entering the tunnel. He couldn't have had that altercation with Halsey.
Cowell walked in on Linney? No.
Lenny did not take part in the underground altercation. He only witnessed traces of the aftermath.
Okay, so he wasn't in.
Lenny went to the room that contains the Oratrice's core. This is the actual truth.
Oh, I did it right.
Attention!
Oh no.
Detective Paimon has something to say!
I love Paimon.
When the countdown started, Lenny did indeed go into the tunnel. But he immediately used a vent to access the Opera House basement, which is where the underground core of the Oratrice is stored. Once he reached that area, he heard a voice in what should have been an empty room. Since he felt something was amiss, he returned immediately. The crime scene had already developed by the time he reached the tunnel again, and in order to complete the magic trick, he did not remain there for any length of time. Finally, he reached the surface, and that was when the accident happened from his point of view. Therefore, he's innocent!
Oh, look at that.
Paimon did it! Paimon actually managed to say all that! Wasn't it awesome?
In other words, you believe that he knew nothing of the incident?
That's right!
Yeah. Moreover, I believe my opposition's reasoning is flawed.
My reasoning?
On-stage equipment was clearly tampered with in a premeditated fashion. However, you say that Cowell bumped into Lenny by chance.
If that's the case, then if Cowell hadn't entered the tunnel, who was the entire setup meant to kill? Assuming that what you say is true, Lenny only needed to kidnap the young girl to cause a new disappearance case. What would the point of killing someone on stage be?
Oh, they have a point.
That's right, you tell him! And that's why they're partners of mine. They've managed to turn things around. Oh, well, your denial is very strident, I'll give you that. But what proof do you have to back your claims?
Do you remember how you refuted Lenny's alibi
Of course
earlier?
I do. If he had been in the magic box the whole time, how could he have not heard that sound? Why do you ask? You're saying that he wasn't.
Your claim has also become a critical clue.
That's right! Lenny wasn't in the box or in the tunnel. That's why he didn't hear anything strange during the performance. This means that when the crime happened, Lenny had already entered the basement via the vent. The same clue you used to disprove his alibi has now become the best proof! How do you like that?
Well played. To think you'd use such logic. Well then, if it wasn't Lenny who committed the crimes, then who was it?
The murderer was... Oh geez, are we gonna actually, like... Select the answers and follow empty gears to verify the correctness of your deduction. If you have made mistakes, you must make another selection from the remaining options. As you have answered all questions correctly, you can complete this logic chain. Okay. Let me see if Loki will be good. Come in. You better behave. The guard's investigation report indicates that the fireworks released near the end of the show ignited and burned through the ropes suspending the water tank above the stage. This caused the water tank to fall and kill Cowell in the box below. If Lenny is no longer under suspicion, only the other members of the troupe would have been able to tamper with the props. Lenny gave a detailed account of how the trick was supposed to work. By using a box inside a box, the idea was for the box containing the audience member to be transported across via a tunnel underneath. And Lenny himself would also use this tunnel to get to the other side. So there was someone in one of the boxes? Having changed her outfit, Lynette and her assistant would take charge of on-stage interactions. Clothes belonging to Halsey, the lady who went missing, were found in the tunnel. The reason for this remains unknown. Who was the only person who could have possibly committed the crime? What's this?
Halsey is the missing person and an ordinary audience member. Or did she have her own scheme all along?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, you're being bad.
The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment. Could there have been a third person involved? Is that really a possibility?
Lay down. Go to sleep. Okay, let's select her.
Halsey is the missing person.
Oh, never mind.
The deceased's name
is
Cowell.
Huh? That can't be right. Are you serious? The killer was, in fact, Cowell, the deceased!
Oh, is that so? How interesting! Let's hear your reasoning then.
What I must do next is recreate the truth. What Cowell did, and how he went from would-be perpetrator to victim.
1 second. What's this?
No one entered or left the Opera House through its entrances. So where would the criminal have wanted to take Halsey?
Have they checked the other?
The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment. The sound we heard may have come from a clash.
How can we prove that there was an altercation?
It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. They would likely have bumped into Linny as well. Halsey's clothing is in the tunnel.
He was a prime suspect.
The deceased's name is Cowell.
Hey, do you want me to call you Slade or Waltz? Which would you prefer? Welcome in. Where did Halsey go?
No one entered or left the Opera House.
So, oh, that's incorrect. Those three are incorrect? Well, geez.
Linny was not in the tunnel at...
Altercation.
It would have been tough for both people.
Either is good? Okay.
No one entered or left... The sound we heard may have come from a...
Where'd the missing Halsey?
It would have been tough for both people.
Dang it! I'm so bad at this. Okay, yes, her clothes. Okay. It's been a couple months. I haven't done many streams on it yet because I haven't been, like, feeling well. But I made a switch to YouTube just because of some things Twitch was doing. I decided I'll come over here. The criminal must have understood the methods behind Lenny's magic trick and must have been in position to easily modify the equipment. Leaving aside how he died, Cowell had all the means to commit the crime at his disposal. Strange noise could likely have been the sound of Cowell and Halsey struggling. Lenny was not in the tunnel for 1 minute. Zico? This would have given time for Cowell to bring Halsey out of the magic box in the audience stands. Oh! but according to the guard's testimony, no one entered or left the Opera House, so even if he had taken her, there'd be no means of exiting. Yeah, I just decided to move. Oh! 1 second. Boop. I forgot to put that above it.
What's wrong, Traveler? Are you still having trouble figuring things out?
Where in the world did Halsey go?
I see how it is. So this was all just a bluff. And here I thought you had something to show for it. But it seems you're still far from the truth.
Look, since we're at a dead end, why not consider a different track? Just like the trick as it transpired, the end result must have been utterly different from the magician's initial design.
No, it wasn't Pete. I didn't draw it. My friend, Director CM, he drew it for me.
If only we knew how Halsey disappeared.
Yeah, I really like it. I also have some emotes from him, but I don't have emotes here on YouTube. My profile picture on YouTube, a different friend made that one.
Well, that would be nice.
They both
but the tunnel
do a
has
great job with
exits,
her things.
And none of them seem very likely. And it's not like this is a magic trick where you can just make a real live person disappear. You know, like you did from that water tank, Lynette.
Yeah, magic escaping from the water tank. How are you, by the way? Slade. Wait, could it have been the water?
Excuse my interruption, dear opponents, but do you not see that the crowd is growing impatient? There is no greater sin in this opera house than an awkward delay in the performance.
I'm glad you're doing all right then.
If the defense is unable to make further effective arguments, we will move on to the next stage of the trial.
Hold on a second.
Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave our criminal ample time.
They did the 14. Yeah, I'd love to get into that again eventually. Maybe eventually. Let me kick this cat out. Well, are you gonna play with your toy? You can stay in. So Lenny was not in the tunnel at the moment?
The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey and the criminal. The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment.
Yeah, I saw that.
The vase was not broken by chance. It was used to cover important evidence. The water.
Yeah, let's just select water. She somehow went out through the water?
Oh, Paimon gets it! It all comes together if Halsey disappeared instead of being kidnapped. Lynette escaped from the water tank, vanishing gradually and leaving only clothes behind. If there's a similar method where a person could be transformed into water...
Her glasses. It's gonna kill me.
Oh, just a moment, please. I do hope you know how preposterous you sound at the moment. How could a person ever be transformed into water? This is reality we're talking about here, not some magic trick.
I request that we examine Cowell's personal effects. We might find something there.
Must we really? I should think that of anyone. Your friend Linny already knows this truth very well. Magic tricks are ultimately just illusions and misdirection. But Halsey's disappearance is very real. We're talking about two completely different things.
Even so, I trust the Traveler's judgment. The truth must be out there somewhere. Perhaps some new line of reasoning may open if we try to gather all the focal points that don't make sense. Since Cal was the deceased, we haven't placed much attention on him. But given that we aren't making much progress with the case, it wouldn't hurt to have a look at his belongings, would it?
People really do come up with all sorts of harebrained schemes when at the end of their rope. The way I see it, your suggestion that we broaden the scope of our investigation is nothing but a tactic for stalling the trial.
Nevertheless, I believe that this is a reasonable request on the part of an attorney. Since the trial does indeed appear to be at an impasse, I believe that additional evidence may help us make more progress. Guards, please step into the lounge and examine the personal effects of the deceased, Cowell.
A guard returns with some news after some time.
We are still examining the items, but we have already made critical progress that we feel must be shared with everyone post-haste. We discovered several test tubes of fluid within Cowell's baggage, each labeled separately. The notebook in his backpack claims that these fluids are...
Wait.
Water from the primordial sea.
I think Oceanids from there.
The primordial sea.
The note's contents also indicate that Cowell belonged to an organization that sells illegal drugs and that he had an accomplice. The notebook has many entries concerning safe usage of these fluids, in which the keyword dissolve appears many times. One of these tubes was labeled Opera Epiclese, along with yesterday's date. It is empty. The notes also state that these dissolution properties work exclusively on people from Fontaine. It's likely that Halsey was chosen as some sort of test subject.
Don't tell me Dottore is,
As such, we believe that the defense's hypothesis is, in fact, supported by sufficient evidence.
You've got to be kidding! People dissolving into water?
Could something so ridiculous actually be true?
Wait a moment. This reminds me of a certain prophecy, but it's just a coincidence, isn't it?
I was just gonna mention that.
If people can become water, does that mean that the water tank's real use was as a means to hide water stains? And if Cowell was targeting that girl... Wait just a minute. Could that mean... You two, with me, quick!
Demoiselle, wait! What about your partners?
Let's go. Just trust me.
Order! Order! It is undeniable that further examination of the deceased's personal effects has yielded some surprising results, but we cannot yet verify the veracity of these clues. Still, let us assume that these clues are indeed authentic, albeit with the understanding that Ms. Halsey has yet to be found. Guards, please continue examining the items along these lines. Mr. Linney, it appears your hypothesis is supported by the evidence, so please continue speaking.
Of course. Thank you, Your Honor. If we uphold this hypothesis, I believe that many of this case's seemingly unrelated clues can be connected together.
Right! Like the metal hook! That one didn't make sense at all. Let's think about this. Cowell's methods must have something to do with that water from the primordial sea.
Okay. Ew, okay,
The deceased's name is
Okay, Cowell. The timing?
Lynette was in the magic box on stage. I remember there was something else within the inner...
Oh, jeez.
The deceased's name is The rope that held the water tank up was lit. The water from the primordial...
This?
Now it seems like the hook rope was not meant for another magic trick, but was instead some form of triggering mechanism.
No. Okay, I think I have to switch those two around.
Now it seems like the hook rope...
Yes. And then the rope.
The rope that held the water tank...
No, the rope is still wrong.
I remember there was something else within the inner...
Yeah. I'm glad I really can't, like, mess this up. That's all I need. mess it up and have to do it all over again.
It's Ace Detective Paimon's time to shine again! In the original plan, Cowl would tamper with the water tank rope, and the number selector securing his target. When the magic box containing Halsey was lowered, the metal hook would retract gradually and pierce the balloon at the top of the box.
Oh, well, that makes sense with the balloons
when the balloon
now.
attached to the box popped, the water from the primordial sea inside it would pour down and dissolve Halsey. Afterward, Cowl would enter the tunnel and break the flower vase to conceal the water inside the tunnel, with the remaining evidence being covered up by the water tank on stage. But he encountered something unexpected in the tunnel, and wound up being fatally hit by the same water tank he meant to use to cover his tracks.
Huh. That does make sense.
That actually links together a lot of the more confusing pieces of evidence.
Oh dear, what do I do? Even I think they sound convincing now. Have I falsely accused an innocent person?
Now, it seems like the only point of contention remaining is the exact circumstances that led to Cowl's death. His notes mentioned he had an accomplice who could be related to the situation.
On that note, the guards have just contacted me indicating that they uncovered new evidence. I shall now invite him on stage to share it with us.
Thank you, Your Honor. We were just inspecting the luggage of the other people involved in this case, and we found an identical sample of the water from the primordial sea among Linny's personal effects.
Oh, jeez.
What?
That can't be.
Oh, I see. Well, how wonderfully comedic to have your own counterattack only to come back and wound you. Does this not clear all doubt, my dear citizens? My loyal audience, allow me to present my reasoning and bring this performance to a swift close. Linny did not need to take part in the dissolution of the young woman at all. Indeed, he did leave the scene via the vent. Having made modifications to the props beforehand, his accomplice Cowl then caused Halsey to vanish using the water from the primordial sea. But upon his return, in cruel avarice, Linny desired sole credit and prepared to do away with his partner in crime. Ultimately, he knocked Cowl out, and the tool meant to cover the crime up also became a murder weapon. Now, as much as I regret having come to such a viciously straightforward conclusion, it does seem that the famed Fatui is quite the cold-blooded and ruthless organization. Am I right, Mr. Linny?
We've used up all the evidence we collected. There's no way for us to make a rebuttal here. Is this the end of the road?
Well.
Oh no. Paimon can't think of anything either.
Is Child gonna show up?
Around this. Seems using the water as new evidence was too good a move. Why did this have to happen now?
I think we've all seen enough now. And we have ample witnesses to my flawless reasoning. I believe this is indeed the finale. Now then, my good, noble Chief Justice, should we not, in your view, move...
Excuse me, everyone, but I must interject.
Miss, I must ask you not to shout, and to respect the ongoing legal proceedings.
Oh, come on. Don't be hasty. I have a good reason for interrupting, you know. Now, would anyone here like to take a little break from all this debate and see a little magic? I'll show you an amazing trick. One that can bring a young woman who has disappeared back in the flesh, right before your very eyes. Please, do the honors, Mr. Linny, if you would be so kind.
What in the world is she saying?
No offense, miss, but miracles like that are beyond my scope as a magician.
Come on now, don't be silly. Magic is all about misdirection, isn't it? It often conceals the truth while presenting a fascinating illusion. But once everyone believes the illusion, can't magic reveal the truth to them once again? And wouldn't such a trick be the most marvelous finale to today's performance? Come on, Lenny and Lynette. Give it another go. Don't worry. Spina di Rasula has made the necessary arrangements on your behalf. But, as the magic makers and stars of the show, I think I should leave the final performance to you.
I understand.
And voila!
Sorry for the interruption.
Wait, isn't that Halsey? So the whole thing about people dissolving wasn't true after all?
To be clear, I'm only here because this person told me that if I testified, the merit of doing so would lessen my sentence. I was hiding outside this room listening to the proceedings because I was afraid that I would be the one put on trial. I was just feeling happy that no one had noticed me. And then before I knew it, she caught me.
That'll teach you to underestimate us three.
Where should I begin? I'm sorry. I'm the one who killed Cowl. I admit it.
What? Why?
Firstly, my name isn't Halsey. It's Lillian, and I'm originally from Mondstadt. I heard that Linny's show was gonna be a real thriller, but I missed the chance to buy a ticket, so I stole one. That's how I make a living. I steal stuff here and there. And I'd never been caught before. But I was noticed at the harbor a few days ago, and I barely got away. Lenny was the one who caught me in the act.
Hey, no wonder you look familiar. So you were the thief. Liddy even mentioned that you were pretty skilled.
Well, and I thought that would have been the end of it, but then the number selector chose me. He even mentioned the Fortress of Meripede. That's a prison, isn't it? So you can imagine how shocked I was. I thought he was on to me for sure. So I played along with the show while looking for an opening to flee. But then I got water poured on me for no reason, and then someone jumped into the tunnel to nab me. I wasn't going to take that lying down, so I knocked him out and stuffed him into the box.
Oh no.
There was nowhere to run from there, though, so I had to change my clothes and hide in a box containing performance costumes. I slipped out after the first guard arrived at the scene and continued hiding inside the opera house.
Can a person even hide in there?
Professional thief.
But I swear, I didn't know that the water tank would fall down. Really, I swear it. Had I known that, I wouldn't have put him in the magic box. I may be a thief, but I'm no killer.
Well, that makes everything pretty clear now, doesn't it?
I don't think,
This time,
Fiorina is
going to
be
tell
happy.
the entire story from Lily-Ann's perspective.
Alright. We're gonna put this together. Yeah, okay. Cowl plan to use a prepared apparatus. Is that it? No, okay. We're not gonna worry about that.
The flower vase was not broken to cover anything up.
Okay, yes, yes.
Lily-Ann was afraid that she would be recognized if she left, so she changed clothes and hid, biding her time. Just what one might expect of an experienced thief.
So it's this one. This?
The strange sound wasn't from a fight. It was Lily-Ann's attempt to break out when she was frightened.
And it's Ace Detective Paimon time! Having been selected out of the blue, Lily-Ann panicked. Her panic only intensified after she entered the tunnel and had water poured on her head. So she kicked the door open, producing the thud we all heard.
So, but the reason why that water did not work to dissolve her is because she's not from Fontaine. She's from Mondstadt, and that water was for people from Fontaine.
Hearing the commotion, Cowl leapt into the tunnel, only to discover that Lillian had not dissolved. He did not know that Lillian was not from Fontaine, but was a thief who made her way in by stealing a ticket. Mistakenly believing that the water from the primordial sea needed time to take effect, he tried to force Lillian back into the box. The two broke the flower vase during the struggle, but Lillian came out on top, knocking Cowl out and putting him in the box. With no way of escaping, she changed her clothes and hid in the costume trunk until the performance ended. She knew that she would have to go through guard inspection if she tried to leave afterward. So, she has been trapped in the Opera House these last 2 days.
She had already become desperately hungry by the time we were chatting over macarons. So, she swiped 2 of them right under our noses. Talk about a sneaky thief.
At this point, all the events that happened in the tunnel have now come to light.
Ah, so that's the whole story.
Bravo! Bravo!
Now then, Lady Farina, do you wish to speak against the defense's statements? Please answer the question, Lady Farina. Also, if I may add, the trial has not yet ended. As such, I request that the prosecution not leave the room before the proceedings have concluded.
What? Are you reading my mind now? No, I have no further arguments. I admit defeat. But really, could you at least have left me with some dignity?
Wow, look at that! She's like a deflated balloon now.
If there are no objections, then as the Chief Justice of Fontaine, I shall once again repeat the full sequence of events. The actual perpetrator of the serial disappearances, Cowl, selected his next victim from the audience reservation list. With some modifications to the selector, he could ensure that the pre-selected young woman would be chosen. To cover up any evidence while committing the deed, Cowl thought of allowing the water tank to fall, which would conceal the water left behind after the young woman was dissolved. He also tampered with the rope suspending the water tank, using the fireworks at the end of the performance to cause the tank to drop and hide the watermarks. He poured the water from the primordial sea into a balloon during the preparation of the magic box and stuck it to the box's lid. Finally, he passed the prepared hook on a rope through the gap in the magic box's door when bringing the young woman to said box. When the magic trick officially began, the box containing the woman was lowered into the tunnel, tightening the hook rope and bursting the balloon containing the water. If all had gone to plan, the young woman would be dissolved at this time. However, Lillian was not from Fontaine, and thus fled the box with a loud noise. Realizing that there was trouble, Cowl entered the tunnel and met Lillian. Thinking that the waters had not yet taken effect, he decided to proceed. However, his opponent was more capable than he thought, and he was overcome, knocked unconscious, and placed into the magic box, and thus became his own final victim. Lillian, according to her own statements, then changed clothes and hid until the performance ended, before hiding in other parts of the opera house. As for Linny, he was in the underground structures within the opera house, and was thus ignorant of these happenings. From this reconstruction of events, we can conclude that Linny, the accused, is in fact innocent.
Hooray, Linny and Lynette! Amazing!
While there is much in Linny and Lillian's conduct that should still be investigated separately, this case, at least, can be handed over to the Oratrice to make the final decision. As such, Linny and Lynette are officially declared not guilty.
Victory for Ace Detective Paimon!
Great work, partners.
Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Let's not celebrate just yet.
Next, I think we deserve an explanation, Guard Vaughn.
How
did you find the water from the primordial sea in Linny's baggage?
Right! Your discovery caused me to make a serious mistake, you know. Or was that not a discovery?
I like how she's just gonna...
evidence that you dared to bring before this court!
Blaming her mistake on him.
I suspect that the accomplice mentioned in Cowell's notes was not Linny, but you, yes? I'm sure you know what you must do to lessen your sentence.
Speak quickly! Unless you want to earn yourself a one-way ticket to Coupon Town.
I was just following orders. We were supposed to place blame for the serial disappearances onto Linny, and thus cause suspicion to fall on the Fatui. The higher-ups said this was the best opportunity to do so.
And now that your plan has fallen through, and the secrets of the water have been revealed, you have become a liability to said higher-ups, yes? Therefore, you would be wise to tell everything you know, and seek the protection of the guards.
Yes, I'll tell you everything I know. Our boss discovered that the water can cause people to dissolve.
Yeah, Paimon's hilarious. Her glasses and mustache have been cracking me up this whole time.
It can also be made into a potion, which when extremely diluted, can cause people to experience unforgettable exhilaration. We've been in this business for a while now, and have made decent more off it. The disappearances were also the boss's idea. I mean, this is the boss we're talking about.
He turned into water. Well.
And now he can no longer talk.
Such ruthlessness. I shouldn't have expected any less of them.
An outrageous act. All present, please submit to inspection immediately.
Well, however, nothing was found on the scene apart from the liquid left behind after Vaughn dissolved.
So, we're just going back now?
Problem seems to be solved for now. We're not needed here anymore.
That's true, but...
Traveler, Paimon, please wait.
Linny...
I know you may not want to speak to me right now. Maybe you don't even want to look at me, but still. Let me thank you again for defending me to the end, even after you learned that I'm a member of the Fatui.
I just don't want to see anybody be falsely accused.
Guess. But regardless, I'd like the opportunity to set things straight. I didn't approach you with any ulterior motives or ill intent. I've spoken to you as myself, just plain Linny this entire time. As for why I'm a Fatus, it's because the goals of the House of the Hearth align with those of an orphan like me. That's all. That was how Father, who you might know as the Knave, approached recruiting us back then too.
Oh man.
The Knave? The one who controls the House of the Hearth?
Yes, I was right!
That's right. And since we're here, I was wondering, would you mind hearing a story? It's about my past. Back when our parents first died, Lynette and I were left wandering the streets. To survive, I took to surreptitiously observing an older street performer who did magic. It took me several days to figure out how he pulled off his amazing tricks. I took my sister through several streets until we found a crowded corner, and we began to perform magic tricks there. To my surprise, we proved to be pretty popular, and we could at least stop worrying about where our next meal would come from for a time. But I didn't want my sister to remain a street rat together with me forever. Before long, an aristocrat came to me and claimed that he wished to take us in after watching my performances.
So you went from orphans to nobility just like that?
That was how we felt at first too. As if fate was on our side and we could say goodbye to those painful days. But I gradually discovered that while we were called foster children, he was really after my talent for magic tricks. He would constantly take me to all sorts of banquets to garner attention, which he would then use to expand his social circles.
That doesn't seem too bad either. Better than roaming the streets at any rate.
It took a while for me to realize just how dark his heart really was. After one particular performance at a banquet, I discovered that Lynette was not on the same return vehicle as me. I waited a long time after we returned home, but she did not come back. I went to that noble's bedroom and asked him about her whereabouts. The answer he gave me was, she caught the eye of the most eminent person at the banquet, so I sent her over as a gift. I mean, you'll be able to perform your magic regardless of who your assistant is, yes?
What the heck?
Oh no. So he was gonna... But wouldn't Fontaine's laws deal with such people?
As far as outsiders are concerned, this is a relationship akin to adoption or foster care, and they have their ways of escaping the eye of the law.
So what happened after that?
I managed to ferret out the location of the mansion of that so-called eminent person and hurried through the night. But by the time I leaped over the walls, avoided the guards, and made my way in, all I saw was the moonlit ground covered in blood, and the knave standing there in the darkness.
So, she'd already taken care of that guy.
That's right. She had rescued my sister before she could come to any harm, and had even discovered several girls hidden in a basement, all of them orphans. Father, I mean, the knave, might have seen something in me, and so she made me an offer. The House of the Hearth welcomes you, for your interests align with ours. Here, none will ever betray you. Indeed, betrayal shall never be permitted here. I was hesitant to trust her. I mean, I had just been betrayed by nobles, but she was also quick to destroy the noble who had taken us in at first, giving us back our freedom.
Oh, so that's how the two of you joined the House of the Hearth.
The knave is after the Gnosis, isn't she? That's why they're here.
She has her own plans. She has gained permission from the Tsaritsa to first use the Gnosis's power once she obtains it. She plans to use it to find a way to break the prophecy and save Fontaine.
So, she believes in that prophecy too?
That's right. The whole House of the Hearth is currently working to combat that crisis.
I'm watching my stream go into the red and I don't know what's going on.
Today's case has also proven that people from Fontaine can indeed dissolve into some sort of water, thus further supporting the prophecy. All of us house members here, Lady Arlecchino herself included, are from Fontaine.
Okay.
We won't give up on defending our homeland.
Nope, it's back in green. Should be good now. Hopefully.
To us orphans, the only connection we have left to this world, apart from our family, is our homeland.
So, from small deeds like distributing magic pockets to huge schemes like stealing a Gnosis...
No, I'm sorry.
...everything is aimed at dealing with that prophecy.
I'm sorry, but I still can't completely trust you.
It's alright. I understand. The only thing I can do is relate all this to you. I just hope you can understand that even as a member of the House, I have never stopped making my own decisions, and that I believe what I'm doing is right. If you should need anything at all in the future, feel free to find me. I will do my best to help you, as plain Linny.
I understand. We haven't seen Child again. I'm just waiting for him to show up.
Bye, Linny.
Oh.
Too slow.
Okay. I was making sure my party looked okay, just in case I have to fight someone.
Hey there. What was with the disappearing act you pulled right as the trial ended?
Were you looking for us, Navia?
Well, this whole thing isn't exactly over, is it? I do feel that we're getting closer to solving the serial disappearances case, though. Don't you think so, too?
I'm sorry, Navia.
What's wrong, my dear partner?
I was really only trying to defend Lenny. I wasn't necessarily looking into the serial disappearances cases.
Are you sure we're the ones who can crack a case that's been cold for decades now? And given that there's new evidence from the trial, there should be a trail of breadcrumbs for the Hydro Archon's people to follow now, right?
Ah, I see. Well, I won't lie. I'm a little shocked to hear that from you. But I suppose you are just travelers who have only arrived in Fontaine after all. Sorry. I might have been too presumptuous.
Don't say that, Navia.
Ah, and we were having so much fun investigating with you, too. It was like having new waters flowing into a stagnant mire, causing new hope to spring forth, and the reflection in the murk to become clearer. Sorry about that. I'm a bit prone to nostalgia. Don't mind me.
I wonder if she's gonna be a 4 or a 5-star. Maybe she'll be a 5-star and be the first 5-star Geo on the standard.
Wait, shall we have a farewell meal? You know, to commemorate our time as partners?
Huh? Do we really need to get that formal? Well, guess you really did treat us as partners, huh?
Well, I'd just like to have a proper ending to every important memory. That way there are no regrets later. Anyway, it would just be a meal, so it shouldn't take up too much of your time.
Let's go have that meal
You
then.
don't have to twist Paimon's arm. If Boss Navia's treating, count Paimon in!
Oh, wonderful. In that case, why don't we return to the Court of Fontaine and head to the Hotel de Boer? I believe we'll make it just in time for dinner.
All right then, let's have our farewell meal.
We have completed it. Offer the Hydro sigils you obtain. Okay. Oh, look at all of the quests we got opening. Will it let me? Can I unlock this? No. I can't claim that either. Oh wait, this is still our conquest. Okay. Okie dokie. I don't know if we can like dive yet. So we have to go all the way over there. Okay. Oh, okay.
Behold.
Can we go diving yet? We can! Okay. I haven't dove yet. Oh. Oh, this is pretty smooth. There's a chest in the water? Excuse me? Do I have to go up and in? Okay, well, we'll figure that out eventually. Oh my goodness. There's a little seahorse. Oh my goodness. No, I didn't mean to hit you guys. Oh. Poor babies. Wait, how do I unlock this? Oh. Man. Oh. Another one of those. Okay, I gotta go that way. I could have taken the boat, but it's kind of cool to be able to actually do some of the swimming. Now we gotta get up in here. Let's wait until we can do his
The wind
skill
rises.
Woo! Okay. Although before we do that, I'd rather interact with the statue. Higher. No. Let's keep going this way. We have to get up there somehow? Man, we do have the first. There's still room for improvement here. The hammering force still isn't quite right. The materials used are all... Oh. Machine is really fascinating up close. The way it just clings on the metal by itself. At this rate, it feels like you wouldn't need a blacksmith at all. This machine isn't smart enough to not need a blacksmith yet. When you need to make something, there are so countless little details that need to be tuned, and the tempering and polishing needs to be done manually as well. However, one day I will turn it into a fully automated forge. Anyways, do you have commissions for me? Autosmith. That's right, I wear both hats, wield both hammers, however you want to put it. Surprised, huh? People who find out about me for the first time on making the expressions you're making right now. Where are the solid chunks of muscle on her arms? She's even leaner than the average person. Yeah, that's right. Can someone like that really work as a blacksmith? Those aren't Paimon's thoughts. Paimon just continued her hypothetical conversation without even realizing it. Humans can use tools, and exquisitely designed tools can make them possible. Some say that all automated forgings are hollow and soulless, but if you ask me, the machine is just as much a tool as a regular smith's hammer. Really, I'd love to see those smiths knock metal into shape with their bare hands. Anyway, I digress. I'll forge a razor-sharp sword for you right away, but it seems like I've run out of materials. Automated material gathering machines feels like that would be a high-demand design as well. But how shall they differentiate between different forms of matter? Could they perhaps use external reflectivity of surfaces to judge the properties of an object? Miss Estelle? No, apologies, I got distracted. As it stands, the Autosmith is just a hammering mechanism. I cannot transform nor roam on its own. All the materials it uses must still be delivered to human beings. If you're interested, you can also give me any spare materials you have collected. When one is testing and tuning their Autosmith, there is always a scarcity of materials. Okay. How should I put it to me? What matters isn't the product that is forged, but the tool used for forging. Letting the Autosmith work with different materials to procure more data sets will help the machine create better products down the line. The designs, contrarily, are of lesser importance. So if you're interested in more than just forging materials, feel free to bring over anything that you might think is useful. Give me 1 second. Oh, it's starting to sweat. You aren't trying to scam us with some strange and useless designs, are you? What if the next time we're back, we'll just find an empty shop with no sign of you, the Autosmith, or the materials we handed over to you? No, that would never happen. This counts as a long-term partnership. In such relationships, nothing is more important than trust. I'll make sure that the designs will be of the highest quality. Besides, even if I could run, it won't be easy for the Autosmith to sprout legs and follow. That's a fair point. That settles it then? Hope this partnership will benefit both of us. Yes, I'm looking forward to seeing what kinds of materials you bring to the forge. Yes. Miss? Oh. What kind of weapons can I buy from her? I don't have any of these. Is there anything... Let's grab these and start new ones. Nothing right now. Oh, it's okay, Gunny. Oh, it's alright. Okay, so I need to get up there somehow. Where is the elevator?
Squall and Fury.
How are you doing, Gunny? I want this. No what? Oh. So...
Behold!
Is this... No. I don't think I can well? Let's try this.
Squall and Fury. The wind rises.
Stop to go up higher. One day we will be high enough.
Behold!
Elevator?
Quit following me.
Why did you do that? Why is it looking funky again? Let me try turning Discord off.
Welcome to the court of Fontaine. Please watch your step.
Yes, top floor, please. Make us go up. It tastes good? Well, I mean, aloe vera is good for you, so.
Squall Fury.
There it is. Hello, puppy. Oh, Virgil. Well, give me a second and we'll talk to Virgil. Yes. Man, so many. What's this? The new boss. The dialogue choices selected determine the challenge and reward attributes. Whoa. Interesting. I don't think I have enough to... Yeah, I need 20. We'll skip them all those for now. He really matches this place.
Too slow.
Let's see who Virgil is. I'm Ash and my companion is called Paimon. Hello, Virgil. Ah, such elegant names. Welcome to the court of Fontaine. It's truly an honor to meet the two of you here. Paimon can't stand much more of this. How did you know we were not from Fontaine? With a glance, it's obvious that you're that you're unsatisfied with being bathed in the soft lights of the city, but feel the call of the wild, which will never be illuminated by bright city lights. Yes, just like the heroes in the operas. Yeah, that's totally true. Grape flavor. Can you... So it doesn't mostly just taste like grape? Ashton's Venture 2. I knew it. Those of the Adventurers Guild are beggarly. Jeez. Courageous warriors begging with all their heart to unlock the deepest mysteries of the world. They wake with their eyes to the stars above and sleep with their back to the abyss below, where there is an unknown domain. There is an adventurer who simply must explore it, bravery bursting beyond the brim. I cannot help but notice how your gaze is focused on many things. Perhaps you wish to study our sublime arts, our intricate clockwork mecha, or our advanced civic culture. Oh! This made me remember talking about the architect. Sure. Kaveh. His mother married and moved to Fontaine. I wonder if we're ever gonna see her eventually. Yes, I like the decorations. Paimon didn't even notice the decorations, but Paimon did notice that Fontaine has a lot of delicious foods that she's never seen anywhere else. Not bad, isn't it? We have a long and glorious tradition of gourmet culture in Fontaine. Naturally, the two of you must often take your meals in the great outdoors, and thus are unfortunately limited in your ability to sample the breadth of Fontaine's superb cuisine, unable to experience a luxurious richness that is leisurely afternoon tea with a few pastries. You don't look that rich. You should know, my dear friend, that true wealth is never flaunted in something as shallow as outward appearances. Oh, like the boba. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's get back on topic. Paimon thinks that Virgil has commission for us. Most excellent. My two exceptional friends, have you heard of the Lilia Crucius treasure? Nope, haven't heard of it. Then please allow me to explain. This is a legend of a lost treasure that has been passed down in Fontaine for centuries. Once there was a secret society called the Lilia Crucius Forum that was able to attract a great many of the rich and influential. Though they humbly called themselves a forum, their actual plan was to overthrow Fontaine itself. In the end, their conspiracy was exposed, and the distinguished members of the forum engaged in a thrilling battle with the Mason. Oh man, I'm really bad at this. But were ultimately defeated in the climactic showdown. However, my dear friends, you must know that they were once the richest and most famous of all Fontaine, and they must have gathered a tremendous amount of wealth. Yeah, they definitely did, and they must have a huge treasure vault somewhere. When you open it, whoa, it's overflowing with nothing but gold, shining like the sun. Correct. The wish to overflow are beautiful Fontaine, and to do so, they must have amassed fortune so vast that they could literally have said to have more money than Morax. However, this wealth was never found. So that means as we find the Lilia Crucius treasure, we'll also be filthy rich. Excellent deduction, my dear Paimon. With that fortune and control of the synth. Anyways, after a lengthy investigation, I've discovered the location of the Lilia Crucius Forum's headquarters. It can be found amidst the underwater ruins of our city. Outside of our city. Look at it! I love these. Really? What do you think, my dear Paimon? Ash, I hereby sincerely extend an invitation to you both to become my partners and dive beneath the waves in search for the lost treasure. Even though Fontaine's water is different from elsewhere, Paimon can never forget how she was drowning before being rescued by you. Never fear, I am here. Yeah, you'll say Paimon again for sure. If that's settled, please allow me to prepare diving equipment for the two of you. I should have the correct sizes. There's no need. I remember, vision holders may dive freely in our waters, but if it's you, dear Ash... Of course, I do not doubt your abilities. You're a famed adventurer, and he must be very aware of his limits. But it just so happens that I do not share the same capabilities, so I'll have to rely on our homegrown technology to keep myself alive. Be that as it may, shall we begin? I'm not going in the water yet. Let me prepare first. We'll come back to you in a second, okay?
I hope the weather's nice like this tomorrow as well.
Okay. Where's the hotel? Is that the hotel? Looks fancy. I think that is. Okay.
Yeah.
Look all the primos we're getting.
I came here several times with my father when I was little, but stopped eating here as often after growing up. I hope the food here will be to your taste.
Excuse me.
Oh, don't worry. We haven't eaten at a hotel like this in a while. Paimon's getting excited
Paimon just
already.
wants food.
In that case, I'll go order for us first. Please wait here a moment.
Ooh, everything looks so good. People in Fontaine sure know how to enjoy life.
Why, of course. Go ahead, try whatever you like. If the food's good, I'll make a group reservation for the rest of Spina di Rosula next time.
And if it's not?
Well, then I'll still bring everyone. Albeit with only one dish per table.
You, sure have your own way of doing things. Oh, we called this a farewell meal, but we could also treat it like a victory feast, right? We did just win that case after all.
It was a pleasure working with you.
Oh, true. Very true. In that case, boss, we'll have another 2 dishes.
Huh? Well, Paimon didn't mean that you had to order even more food.
We're gonna eat all the
Speaking
food.
of cases, do you think that the mastermind behind the serial disappearance...
Well,
oops.
We've certainly taken a big step forward, but I feel that's about it. We know that there's an organization that means to dissolve these young women, but we still don't know what they are really after.
If it hadn't happened right in front of us, Paimon wouldn't have ever believed that a person could be dissolved like that.
Right? Yet it was because this was such a preposterous notion that the investigation could never really move forward before.
Ugh. If only that guy could have finished speaking! We were so close to hearing who was behind it.
In such investigations, even the smallest step can seem like a yawning chasm if the trail of clues is cut off. To be honest, I don't have high hopes for any follow-up that the authorities might conduct. It's not that I don't have faith in their ability, it's just that a different perspective is required in some matters.
So this biggest, the biggest updates, this is the 4th region. I think they update it about every, with a big one. This is 4.0. Somewhere between half a year to a whole year, I think, is whenever they usually add, a new region. But every couple of updates. So it seems like every month or two, we get some pretty big quests added. Whether they are hangout quests, or they are Archon quests, or regular story quests. And then they also have events that happen, and those also have a fair amount of lore in them too. I forget when Sumeru came out, because that was the one before, the place before this, but I loved Sumeru. That's been my favorite so far, and it seemed like it went by very quickly, but it might have just been because I really, really liked Sumeru.
It's easy to guard against and deceive a single narrow perspective. A shift in thinking is required at such times in order to produce a breakthrough. Which is exactly why the Spina di Rosula exist. Those highfalutin folk are not all-knowing. That's why we exist. To seep into the cracks where filth falls through. Where their watch fails them. That's the kind of problems we solve.
Seems Paimon thought things were simpler than they actually are.
It's all right. Well, this was supposed to be a farewell meal, so I doubt you have further interest in this business, right?
So...
let's talk about something else. What are your future plans?
We still have not seen Child again after he gave us his Hydro Vision. We wanted to ask a Hydro Archon for some information, but we hadn't had much opportunity to do so.
That's true. We didn't have a chance to speak to her after the trial ended. It didn't really seem like the right time or place to do it anyway.
I see. So, your primary objective, which has been foiled so far, was to have a chat with the Hydro Archon. I've heard that there's a long line of people waiting to meet Lady Farina. I suspect you'll be waiting for quite a while, considering that you missed your chance today.
Yeah, the only lull in the work was at one point during COVID, and they weren't working for a while. And there wasn't a update for a while. Several weeks. Every 2 weeks, I think it is, they will put new banners up for characters that you can pull and get.
Yeah.
I think it's 2 weeks off the look.
Popular here in Fontaine, and that it'll be tough getting any of her time.
Well, would you consider some more, unique ways?
Guess that's Spina di Rosula's boss for you. Chock full of sketchy ideas. Well, what did you have in mind?
Well, one way would be to infiltrate a performance troupe at the Opera House, only to abandon your act at the play's climax and ask to speak to her after the performance. I'm sure Lady Farina would be eager to see the ending, and would agree in order to finish watching the play. Don't you think?
Could you suggest something a little more practical? This plan seems pretty hard to pull off. We'd have to go learn how to act, and acting's really hard.
All right, here's another. Find a way to conceal yourselves under her bed. Then wake her up in the dead of night and demand answers. Don't let her go back to sleep until she answers all your questions. I can personally testify that this one works. When I'm sleepy, I'll do anything as long as I can finally get some sleep.
That might work, but that's not really the problem. The problem is we don't want to get ourselves arrested.
Ah, valid point. I overlooked that part. I was just thinking about leveraging a person's desire for sleep.
How can you overlook something like that?
All right, no more joking around. Perhaps you could... Oh, I don't know. Cut the line when she's on a break. You did defeat her in court, clearing citizens of hers from false accusations. False accusations she had nearly upheld personally. I imagine that she feels quite ashamed about the whole thing.
You mean that if we catch her while she's on a break, she might be too embarrassed to refuse? Oh, that does make some sense.
It's worth a try.
Why don't we give it a try after this meal? You know, strike while the iron is hot and all.
Huh? Paimon, did you drink my Fanta?
Was this your drink? Sorry about that. Paimon wasn't really paying attention and the cup was right next to Paimon. Would you like to order another?
No, it's fine. We're just about done here.
Alright. Honestly, Paimon wouldn't recommend Fanta anyway. It tastes kind of salty and icky.
My drink also tasted that way too.
So? Huh. Well, in that case, we'll have to blacklist the Fanta here then.
Once we get out of this cutscene, I need to run to the restroom.
Yeah, we're stuffed. Thanks for the treat, Navia.
Ugh, had to chill.
Oh, so full. Paimon can barely float anymore.
Try walking, you know.
Nah, that would be so... normal. You know, like you.
Okay. As for expenses this month, we're left with...
On the turntable?
Hey, Navia, what are you doing over there?
Oh, nothing. It was just a meal, you know? Nothing the Spina di Rosula can't cover.
That was a pretty pricey meal, all thanks to Paimon.
Let's get ready to try to meet the Hydro Archon again. Bye, Navia!
So this is goodbye, huh? Well, if you do encounter any other trouble in Fontaine, you're always welcome to contact the Spina di Rosula. I'll give your requests the highest priority. In any case, I wish you smooth sailing. I'll see you again, partner.
See ya!
Ooh, we started. As light rain falls without reason. Okay, I need to take a little break. I'll be right back. We're actually... Ooh. Get down. Okay. Yeah, I'll be right back. Alright. Got more water. And also, open my window. It's nice and cool outside. Okay, go back over here. It's gonna take a while till we can open it up to do, daily commissions here. Let's see if we can talk to, Folklore, though.
There aren't many people around anymore. Looks like that boat we took to Araneas might have been the last one.
Vache.
Oh, so there's that voice again.
Looks like we're back here again. Huh? Traveler? Are you hearing voices again?
Yes, and it was clearer than it was during the day.
That's kind of spooky. Are you sure we don't want to come back in the morning?
Vache? Vache.
Hey, why are you still walking towards it? There might be something nasty in the water.
Nah, I can feel strong emotions. Things are getting a little blurry. One of the 7 gods? I don't know.
Huh?
Doesn't sound like anybody I recognize other than the Oceanid.
I to hear a voice. It's calling for Vache, right? Hey, traveler, stop walking. Come on, wake up.
Oh, I was right! The Oceanid! Because she talks about the primordial waters. Where is this?
Vache, are you my dear Vache? No, wait. You seem to be someone else. Do you know Vache? Do you know where my love is?
I'm afraid not. I'm sorry, who are you?
Wait.
Oh.
Who am I? I'm very sorry. I fear I do not know. My memories feel like they have been washed away like a flood. So many fragments dissolved amidst the tide, never to be recovered. How much have I lost? How many things that I once held dear while on land have I since forgotten?
You were once human?
Yes, that is what I was once. But now, I am but the consciousness of one who is lost their form.
You lost your form?
I do not know how I came to be like this either. I only vaguely remember being covered in light blue water, and then all grew dim.
Could she be one of the girls who were dissolved?
I also remember going to many places. I loved adventure, loved exploring places of peril. No matter where I went, Vache would go with me. I knew how dearly he loved me, and I also loved him equally as much. But now, we can no longer go back. The pain of such parting, I never knew how heavy it could be.
So you need me to find him?
No. Our reunion no longer has any meaning. There is no way for us to create any new memories. The thought of me gives him no succor. So let it lie forgotten beneath the waters. If you meet Vache, tell him not to look for me. Tell him to move on. That is the only thing I still remember.
I believe it'll be hard for him to forget you.
Perhaps that is so. As I was submerged in the waters, losing consciousness, I saw Vache above the surface. His eyes were filled with such sorrow, such longing. If only I could have comforted him, told him that I did not suffer. Indeed, I had felt a great warmth.
So there's an Oceanid that looks like this that you fight as a boss in Liyue. And they talking about an assassin from the homeland. What happens if Vache? I forgot how she says it. Was going around as an assassin trying to bring her back.
Is that what you call it? Dissolving? If anything, I consider it a form of release. It was a state of neither fear nor frenzy, with only an endless peace, like the water's still surface. I could also liken it to being a thirsty person who drinks water for the first time, and only then sees how they have lived for so long in a world of endless want and anxiety.
Seems that after the body is dissolved, some measure of the consciousness still remains.
I think I hear your companion. It's time for you to go, I think.
Right, I wonder how much time has passed in
Farewell,
reality.
then. I am glad that you were able to sense my presence. Remember, if you see Vache, tell him not to seek me out any longer.
Yeah, the Oceanid. I can go fight, oh. She a Claymore? Use her, I mean? Can't tell if it's a sword or a claymore. Nah, it looks like claymore to me.
Dear God, it's a whole army of Gardamex.
It's her
hand.
Oh no, okay.
Quick, now's our chance!
My goodness, her shirt is busting at the seams.
I should thank you for lending us your sword there, Clarand. But before I do so, could you explain how you managed to show up here?
I followed you. It seemed to me that danger has followed you more closely as of late.
I believe that following someone without their knowledge is actually called stalking, is it not?
Mr. Callus's last wish was for me to ensure your safety, and I will not betray his trust. He would do the same, were he alive today.
Do not speak of my father!
Sorry, demoiselle. I was not strong enough.
Thank you for your aid, Miss Corand, but do keep an eye out for your manner of speech. I believe we all wish to avoid unnecessary emotional harm.
Sorry, I did not consider your feelings.
Whatever. What else do you know? How did you come to the conclusion that I'd be in grave danger?
I doubt I know much more than you, but I believe that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances is very powerful. Your performance tonight will almost certainly attract their attention.
Huh. I'm sure they've known about me. To be honest, I'm shocked it's taken them this long to act against me. And what about these Gardamex? I thought only those associated with the Maison Gardiennage could control them.
None of these mecha have serial numbers. I was sure to check a moment ago. They are not the ones used by the authorities to enforce the law. I can only conclude that some powerful or wealthy party must have obtained them via illegal means, deploying them as a private force of sorts.
What? Your point being that they're out of Spina di Rosula's league, then?
Yes. Be careful, and do not act rashly.
I will continue investigating no matter what. We will bring the truth to light. That's my father's true last wish. Regardless, thank you for your help today, Clarand. But if you get any ideas, tell me first. I don't much appreciate being followed.
I do not think that they'll strike again anytime soon. So I shall stop following you. Good day, all.
Right. I suppose that's the best news we've gotten today.
Demoiselle, I believe that Miss Clorand was being sincere
Huh.
with you. If we tried, we could attempt to thaw relations a little.
I know, she's...
What just happened?
Oh, thank goodness! Paimon thought we were done for! Those Gardamex came out of nowhere while you were unconscious, and Nadia and her gang saved us! Oh, and there was that champion duelist named Clorand who came out to save us too! We got lucky there. Paimon probably couldn't have fought them off otherwise.
Thanks for the rescue, Navia.
Oh, come now. Forget all that polite talk. That wasn't really a farewell meal we had back there. Not for me, anyway. In truth, I hope that every meal we have together shall be a victory feast. As such, we're still partners. There's no need to thank me.
It will take 50 years for me to match Demoiselle's magnanimity.
If it were me, I would have joined the Spina di Rosula on account of her goodwill long ago.
All right, you two. That's enough.
Actually, Navia, how did you know that we were in danger? You sure did show up in the nick of time.
Well, to be honest, you're the one who tipped us off, Paimon.
Huh? Really? Paimon can...
Yes, all thanks to you grabbing my drink by mistake.
How did that help?
After we parted ways, I was on the way back to one of our bases when I suddenly thought of what you said. That the Fanta tasted kind of salty and icky. Fanta only comes in sweet flavors, so how could it have tasted salty? The color of the drink, if I recall, had also been a bit off.
So the Fanta had been spiked with water from the primordial sea?
Yes. So, if you hadn't drunk that cup for me...
Spina di Rosula is preparing the grandest of awards for you as we speak for saving the boss.
Huh. Really?
I sent people to Hotel de Boer to investigate, but whoever did this left no trace at all. That's when I figured out that you might be in danger, and hurried here as quickly as I could.
What? Why would they go after us too? All we did was defend Linny in court and help clear his name!
Well, you did foil a plan that they were probably pretty proud of, and almost got their name in the process. Speaking of which, did anything strange happen when you drank the primordial seawater?
Well, it can't be a coincidence that the Traveler fainted just now. He said that he heard that voice calling for Vache again. Oh, and this time Paimon heard it too! But it was real faint. Does this situation have to do with the primordial seawater then? Does that mean the primordial seawater raises someone's sensitivity to hydro when it's used on people who are not from Fontaine?
That doesn't sound like too much of a bad thing, to be honest.
New intel? While you were out cold?
Well, let's hear it, shall we? Oh, that is important. Vache. That name doesn't ring a bell. I suppose he hasn't stepped forward as a witness in court lately. Since he saw that young woman dissolve, he was at least at the crime scene. But he never gave testimony or any information regarding people dissolving in the primordial
muted. Sorry, I was coughing
seawater.
earlier and I forgot to unmute myself.
Could he have been threatened?
But no, like Fanta, so it's kind of like that, but no, it's a different, like, special drink they have in Fontaine. If he's still alive, we should try searching for him.
Thank you. This is
And
very
thanks for
important
letting me know,
information
Gunny.
indeed. We will continue to investigate.
Alright, partner.
Oh, you mean you'll help us investigate?
Well, you did say that our farewell meal didn't really count. That means we're still partners, right? And besides, we're in this now whether we like it or not. You're not gonna let those people who targeted us get off the hook so easily, are you, Traveler?
This will prove to be their biggest
Mademoiselle,
mistake.
do try not to look quite so pleased. You are the face of Spina di Rosula, after all.
You talk too much. Well, in that case, let's head back to one of our bases, shall we? I'll arrange accommodations for you. We also have some plans to go over, and hopefully we can deepen our bonds as partners. But we'll take that one step at a time, I guess.
Don't worry, you two. With us around, our base is definitely secure.
We can go fight. I'll go fight the Oceanid for you real quick.
I'll lead the way.
Don't tell me they did it again.
Come with me.
She's a pain in the butt to fight, but we'll go do it. No, because I might want to pull for a new character eventually. I might need Hydro. I need to decide. I want the new Cryo Catalyst, but
Dodge this.
yes.
Our bond is strong.
An assassin from our homeland, or a fool who trespasses upon the waters of Chainsa. Coveting the shapes of the living, pure water can take on many forms. In this way, shall water deliver your punishment.
Yeah.
The power of water is its ability to take any shape.
Cool it!
Lightning purified! Stand with me!
Without solid ground, terrestrial creatures become simply helpless.
I like how I'm just taking damage. Hi! Hi, Mochi. I know, right? But with Dendro, it helps a lot, especially Tanari. But we also were talking to a different Oceanid over in Fontaine, so I was like, we'll go over here and fight her in here.
Is its ability to take any shape.
No flying ones yet.
Don't get frostbite. Freeze.
Eyes on me!
One who is ignorant of water's treasures fails also to comprehend its horrors.
How are you doing today, Mochi?
Out of my way!
Let's see what happens when you lose your foothold.
Oh, like TMJ, you think?
The power of water is its ability to take any shape.
Like...
I hear everything. Keep up. Oh, so sorry. Dodge this.
To ashes!
Can't see?
Where's all the other ones? Oh.
Yeah.
Dissipate. As long as rain falls, and rivers flow.
Yeah, I
Water will
hate
exist
that.
forever.
That's annoying. Alright, we'll go back to Fontaine. Getting distracted. Probably gonna go for another 10 minutes and then end. So I don't push myself. But we'll see. Oh! Hello.
Ad Astra Abyssosk.
We meet again, Catherine. Hello there, the pleasure is mine. I'm Catherine, the receptionist of the Adventurers Guild. My job is to provide the adventurers with quests. Oh. May my services be of help to you. May your journey in Fontaine be a memorable one.
Ad Astra.
Are you also a clockwork puppet? Haha, I wonder. Do I appear like a masterpiece of the Fontaine Research Institute to some?
Ad
Yes, you do.
Astra.
Okay. Yeah.
Exactly. But none of them believed me.
Time itself is a silence.
Oh. Sorry you having issues with it. What do you sell here? Oh, okay. Oh, that's what I do. I want to see like what stuff I can buy from. Oh my goodness. Let me see what he has to buy. There's the Fanta. Don't have any of these. Let's buy them. Oh no. Fermented juice. Buying all of it. I also
Skilled at something doesn't make it a hobby.
got some new recipes. I haven't got to make yet. Wait, which way? Oh. Why are we, like...
It's right up ahead, but let's make sure we weren't followed first.
I've been keeping watch, Demoiselle. I haven't spotted anyone suspicious thus far.
Huh, very good. But let's not let our guard down for now.
I shall find rooms for our respected guests.
Thank you, Malus. Now, let's continue, traveler.
Ooh. How long have you been working on it? There's a lizard! And a cat. 2 hours now. Now, do you have to, like, submit at a certain time, or is this just something you're working on for practice or fun? Oh, this is cool. A whole underground, place.
I guess I'm finally on the right path.
Do you have something to buy that I can buy from you? Can you solve any problem? Can't sell me anything, though.
So, this is your base? It's not quite what Paimon imagined.
Oh. Oh. See, we have tomorrow. And some of Sunday.
Your accommodations have been arranged. Under the present circumstances, I can confidently say it's the best we have.
Thank you.
Well, our funds have been a little tight lately. After all, we don't allow illegal or unethical profiteering. In fact, our funds often come from citizenry who support us.
Seems like it's tough times for everyone. But if you have the support of the people, that does sound like it's worth it.
To be honest, our financial situation was a lot better back when my father was in charge a few years ago. I'm afraid I'm not quite his equal.
Your father... he was the previous boss of Spina di Rosula, right? How did
Paimon?
Demoiselle, if you'll allow me to explain.
No. I'll explain it myself. I suppose I couldn't run from this topic forever. And as partners, this is something I hope they can understand. My father's name is Callus. Yes, the same one they call Callus the Unfaithful in the streets. 3 years ago, he was accused of murdering his own friend. But he chose a duel to defend his honor instead of standing trial. He died in the duelist's ring.
Oh no.
But I do not believe my father was a murderer. I'm sure he was set up. At the time, I believed that if he only stood trial and was duly investigated, something amiss would crop up and prove his innocence. But strangely, he not only requested the duel himself, but rumor has it that even after being seriously injured, to the point where he could be deemed as having lost the duel, he refused to surrender, determined to die in the arena. 3 years later, I still don't understand why he did that. How could he protect his honor if he's dead? If anything, he gave up his chance to defend himself.
It does seem quite odd.
The closest piece of info I have is that my father had been investigating the serial disappearances case at the time of his death.
Ah, so that's why you're so determined to get to the bottom of that case.
That's right. I've also tried to investigate the murder my father was implicated in, but I haven't found a single new clue in my countless reviews of the investigation records. However, I believe that if the murder case is related to those behind the disappearances, they must know something. I must know what really happened. Was my father coerced? Framed? Even if he really did kill his friend, I must get to the truth. If only he'd been more open with me when he was still alive. He even hid the fact that my mother died due to complications when giving birth to me. And now, here I am investigating his death. You really are a handful, aren't you, Papa?
Seeking the truth for the sake of your family. We're quite alike in this regard.
Demoiselle, please, if there is anything I can do, anything at all.
I also will never believe that Master Callus murdered anyone. There are none whom I respect more than the two of you, Demoiselle. Master Callus did so much good in life, yet all it took was one murder case for him to be dubbed Callus the Unfaithful. Even our supporters decreased greatly due to that incident, hence our strained finances at present.
Wait, if Callus was such a good man, wouldn't people at least be a little suspicious when he was accused?
No. Perhaps people just revel in that kind of drama. It's not something exclusive to people from Fontaine, really. Everyone's like that. People love watching the evil turn over a new leaf, but they also enjoy watching good people fall into an abyss from one slip-up just as much.
But how could... never mind. If Callus was really falsely accused, we have to find the truth. He didn't deserve to have that happen to him.
There is one other thing. Master Callus's opponent in the duel was Ms. Clorand.
So that's how she kind of has an issue with her.
Well, then, isn't that as good as saying that she was the one who killed him?
No wonder the mood was a little strange between you two.
Yeah, that's not the sort of thing that you can just let go and move on from.
Miss Clorand has always placed great emphasis on the honorable nature of the duel. If her opponent doesn't yield, she will not stop either. She knew Master Callus beforehand and greatly respected him, but seeing how he was resolute in the arena, there was only ever one choice she could have made.
It's not that I don't understand her at all, but I just can't deal with this yet.
Gunny, I'm sorry.
Don't worry, Navia. Paimon knows how you feel. You don't have to force yourself to do that.
Afterward, Miss Clorand told us that at the start of the duel, Master Callus requested that she ensure Demoiselle Navia's safety.
That indicates that he intended to die in that duel.
Yes, that is our understanding as well.
Oh, Papa. What madness drove you to ask the person who killed you to take care of me? All right, anyway, that's the information I wanted to share with you. Even if it did sound like I was just complaining towards the end.
I understand how important this is to you.
Thanks. You two should go and rest. This was quite a day after all.
Yeah, Paimon's beat.
Please, relax and get some sleep. We will ensure you rest soundly.
I'm still going nuts because we still have Child's vision from like 3 days ago. When is Child gonna come visit us?
Paimon slept so well. This place feels almost too safe. Huh? Navia? Where did the other two go?
I sent them back to Poisson. It's Spina de Rosula's place of origin, and where we have our headquarters. There's not much for them to do here at the moment.
Paimon gets the feeling that you're just trying to get them off your back. But never mind that. When did you get back? Were you waiting here the whole time?
No, I just returned after going out for a while. I did some investigating yesterday regarding the name Vacher.
Wait, so you didn't sleep at all?
How could I after having such critical new evidence appear?
Guess Paimon wasn't speaking for everyone just now, huh?
Unfortunately, this name seems to have been wiped from existence. It doesn't seem to have a match anywhere. I suspect that those behind this have already taken steps to hinder an investigation from this angle. But that does prove that this Vacher person is a key witness in the incident.
Does that mean we're too late, though?
No. There is one ray of hope. One place in Fontaine that they would find almost impossible to threaten, no matter how much they wanted to. And that is the archives kept by Chief Justice Neuvillette. A place where detailed files on all the cases in recent years are kept. If the Oceanette you met is one of the young women who went missing recently, we should be able to find some related information there.
So Neuvillette maintains an archive of case files? Whew. Guess that's the hard-working Chief Justice for you.
Man, I think we have to go see him, and then I'll end after that.
Shall we? Aren't you coming along, Navia? Did you get tired?
No, it's nothing. Let's go see the Honorable Chief Justice.
Yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll do what we have to do with the Chief Justice, and then we'll end.
Get with me!
Okay, where do I go? Then we'll end after that.
The Palais is right up ahead. Come on.
I just like him so much, I want to see him again. Let me in. I'm tempted to pull for him, but also I think during that update is when we'll get the other.
Halt! Please state your business here. The Chief Justice is presently occupied with official matters.
Huh. This place does look pretty heavily guarded. Guess that proves that Neuvillette's files are really secure.
Hey, don't you recognize us?
Huh? Who are you?
2 hours, 30 minutes.
I don't care who
Yeah,
you
I had an
are
issue
or
with the
who you
beginning,
might
so
be
I had to
related
restart.
to.
But yeah,
Our rules make no exceptions.
that's why I planned to end like
See?
after
They've got great
after we talked
discipline,
to him.
too.
Official matter.
You can tell.
Okay, yeah.
If you're here just to crack jokes, I can point you towards the exit.
Hi, Maze.
Unlike some,
How are you
we're
doing?
busy. So please leave if you don't have a reason to be here.
Did you see
No,
Clorin?
no. What I
I have a
meant to
feeling
say
you would
is,
like Clorin.
shouldn't you remember us from a few days ago? We were at the trial of the great magician Linny.
Oh, yes, I remember. I read about it in the Steambird. You must be Linny's attorney.
We're here today to report and archive some information on a follow-up case.
Huh. Is that even a thing?
Of course. Don't worry. We're here on official business. You can trust us.
Oh,
No,
right,
she
yeah,
had
that you could. The Chief Justice
black
is
hair, I
just
think it was.
inside.
Ah, thanks so
And
much.
the gun? She had a sword and a gun. And a hat. Not like the hat.
Please come in.
There he is. He's gonna be my new friend. People have been calling him No Hydro Man. I mean, No Vision Man, because...
Side of our gym, Monsieur Nervalet. We only like to get in
Yeah, the Musketeer hat,
we
yeah.
don't know any other way.
But yeah, people have been calling him No Vision Man because we do not see a
It's all
vision
right.
on him.
Please
Anywhere.
let me know how I may be of assistance to you.
So you're not mad at us?
We're looking for a man called Vacher. He may have been an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case.
Ah, I see. In that case, please wait here a moment while I browse through the files.
So people are theorizing that he's the Hydro
Who
Dragon.
knew that Nervalet would be so easy to talk to?
Unfortunately, I'm quite certain that no one by the name of Vacher has been involved in any case, criminal or civil, in the past several years. There are no records of him either in the files or in my memory.
Guess that's that.
Traveler, what if it was really just a dream?
No.
Is that so? All right then. Thank you so much, Monsieur Neuvillette. We'll take our leave now.
Ahem. Miss Navia, I can understand how you feel. Your father, Callus, was a truly exceptional man. We deeply regret his passing.
And what are you trying to say, Monsieur Neuvillette? Are you trying to console me? Extend your sympathy? Or just express some tendril of regret? No. You are not trying to do any of that. I can hear it in your voice. There's no emotion behind your words. You only said those things because you felt like you should. It's just like last time. After my father took his place in the duelist ring, I pushed through the guards to talk to you as a last resort. You even told me then that you thought there was something fishy with the case, yet you still allowed the duel to go ahead. In your eyes, the value of a human life is nothing compared to those cold laws you hold so dear. If you truly regret my father's death, then why didn't you call a stop to the duel? Why didn't you give me the power to stop him from throwing his life away? Why did you just let him die? Despised and hated by all. Everything was hanging on a thread at that moment. Just the tiniest effort could have changed everything. There are still so many things I never got to tell him. So many questions he still owes me answers to. If you really have no heart, then just look me in the eyes. I, Navia, will show you the true meaning of regret.
I'm sorry, Miss Navia.
You and my father are truly alike. You keep all kinds of things in your heart and never say a word to anyone. It's not so much that you can't feel, but that you would never express anything. Oh well. In any case, everyone already knows full well the apathy of the Chief Justice. My apologies for taking my emotions out on you, Monsieur Chief Justice. Let's go, Traveler and Paimon.
Well, yep.
Navia, are you okay?
I'm fine. Rain. It's raining.
You're right. Wasn't it still sunny when we went into the building? And there shouldn't be any active trials today. How strange.
Now that I think of it, on the day my father was convicted of murder, it was also raining.
Rain?
What is it? Did you think of something?
Your father's case, was he outside when it happened?
He was outside. It was uncovered and the rain could fall there. Why? Do you think the rain could have affected the crime scene?
The
that
water.
thought has occurred to us before. We've even expanded the search area to try to account for that, but didn't find anything of value.
But there is something you didn't know at the time.
Wait. You don't mean...
The fact that people can be turned into
So you're
water.
saying that the true murderer could have been turned into water? And then got washed away with the rain? Yeah. And if that's what had happened, then no one would have believed your dad, even if he explained what he saw to the authorities.
I really think I found a true genius for a partner. You're completely right. How did I not connect the dots earlier? All right, let's go to Poisson. With this new lead in mind, we'll get to the bottom of my father's case for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna make progress for sure this time.
Do you want to go with me now? Or do you want to head over...
We'll head over later.
All right, then I'll wait for you at Poisson.
That seems like a good place to end. Does it? I know there's an event going on. There is. I'll definitely be doing that on my own. Relic records, creation of the Hydra Nation. You don't need to gather certain types of collectibles. Recommended collection sites. Okay. Oh. Before the challenge starts, you have to choose challenge content through conversations with fellow Day. Resources granted by Leyline Blossoms after challenge completion will depend on the content chosen. Okay. So, oh, this will be fun. Oh, geez, excuse me. So then we'll have to fight these. Grab those. I'm excited to fight those. Oh, so you only fight one at a time. And like they said, it depends on what you use. That's cool. Okay, well I'm gonna end there. Thanks everybody for being here. I'll let you all know whenever I stream next. Oh jeez. My head is starting to feel funny again, like whenever what happened the other day. Probably something I'll have to talk to my doctor about and see what he says. Yeah, it was like 2.5 hours, over 2.5 hours. But anyways, good night, and I'll catch you all next time. Goodbye.